Alrighty, everybody, welcome to another episode of Long Haul Garage. Today, back to Project Fox. My goals for the day are simple. My new radiator has come in, and I have stuff to make linkage adapter for the transmission kickdown. So my goal is to get the old radiator out, get a better idea of how the new one is going to fit because it's not a direct replacement because they don't exist, and make that transmission kickdown linkage so that I might be able to start working on getting this carburetor swap done. So yeah, here we go. Already discovering a problem with my setup. The new radiator does not have provisions for a transmission cooler. This one, obviously being an automatic trans, needs one. So, I'm going to have to be buying an aftermarket tranny cooler to make this work. But that's okay. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do. Now there's actually some room, and I can actually see what I'm trying to do down here. I also see that this engine is disgusting, and it could really use a deep clean. Well, that was a pain, but it's out. Front of this engine bay, engine needs good cleaning. Holy shit balls, that man, is it gross. I might pull the grill out of it and scrub. Let's give you guys a view. See, it's nasty in there. Very clearly been leaking for a while. Nasty. And after some degreaser, scrub brush, and spray bottle action, it's actually kinda sorta clean. It's a lot better than it was. Now I'll be able to keep a better eye on where it's leaking from, which I'm fairly certain is going to be the valve cover gasket right here at this little half moon piece. And I know the front main leaks. So while I have the radiator out, I'm going to address that as well as a new water pump. Simply due to the fact that I have access now, it's time to do it. Simply due to the fact, especially because I saw what was going through this system for cooling for the water. So yeah, new water pump, new front main seal, and radiator. But for now, we mock up the new radiator. Alright, this is my new radiator. It's actually for a 72 Datsun 510, but measurements were almost perfect. So, we're going to sink this down in. That fits in there pretty good. There's going to be a gap down at the bottom because it's not quite as big as I'd like. May have to go down a little bit lower. So luckily gravity will help there. Oh, tank setting. I may have to do some clearancing. If I can get it to sit there, which I'll have to clearance some things to make it so that it sits down where I want it. But the radiator hose will be interesting. If I shuffle this more this way. There we go. Come on. Maybe we'll get the cap. That may be where it ends up. Lower radiator hose is going to be tight, but not impossible. I'm going to take my pliers and try and tweak these hose fittings so I can scoot it more this way. let's go grab some tools. All right. I tweaked those fittings a little bit so they point down now. That gave me just enough room. But I might have to bash this. Well, that worked well. Fingers don't want to cooperate. Alright, now that I got that sorted, I may have to bash right there a little bit just to make room for the radiator hose to have a little bit more wiggle room. Top hose shouldn't be much of a problem. Then I just drill the 4 holes to mount it. And then, because it's not as tall as the old setup, I have plenty of room to snake hoses underneath for an aftermarket transcooler. So yeah, that'll work. I'll make some rubber isolators for it. We'll go from there. All right. Made some rubber isolator parts. And now, I'm going to test fit those. Then it's just a matter of getting the last 2 holes drilled. Bash the inner structure here to make room for the radiator hose. The radiator is basically ready to go in. I just gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna drill in bottom holes. How close are we? Oh, I have a better idea. Alright, after mucking with it a little bit off camera, because it's boring shit that nobody's going to want to see, rubber isolators have mounts on all 4 points. Now, let's set this in there. Once it all cinches down, that's in. That will be in. Now, final test here. Close the hood. Clears the hood for miles. Clears the hood for miles. Clears the hood for miles. Hell yes. Cap is easy to get off. It's right there. No problems. The eternal words of Shrek. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. have to route the tranny cooler lines up and over, but it's doable. Let's position this down a little bit, give me a little bit more wiggle room, but that's doable. That might be how that works. Down by the headlight bucket is where it mounts. Well, I got room. I got space. I can make that work. I have space. Okay, the grill's not right on top of that. I could just run that flush against there because that will fit. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, that'll fit just fine with the grill in place. Perfect. Perfect. So this will go. This will go right here. That will live right there. Trans cooler in the middle, other fan on this side, and that will keep it cool. It's just a matter of running tranny cooler lines. Hell yes. That's going to work out well. I'm happy with that. If that's in the middle, have that in the middle, like so. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. And it won't interfere with the one that has to go through the radiator for temperature probe. It might interfere with the ones behind it, but if I set it back far enough, it won't matter. Actually, no, I won't have an issue. That will work. So tranny cooler will go in the middle. Mounted this way in the middle. Run lines. Then I just got a get line for it. That will work. Hell yes. It makes this easy. I was actually able to retain some factory holes here for the mounting. And I just got to do something about that there. That's going to be some hammer time action. Make sure I got some space there. But other than that, that will do. Hell, the upper radiator hose is almost a direct fit. That will work. And that will do it for that. Next time you see me back on this, that'll all get mounted, plumbed, finished carb linkage. This is drivable. I'm excited. I'm so excited.